Good morning everyone and welcome to Juma Game Reserve. My name is Sebastian and we've got Tara behind the camera this morning and Mark back in final control. So if you want to send any question, you can send them to questions@juma.com and Mark will forward them to me and I'll try and answer them to the best of my knowledge. Otherwise Tara and Mark can always help. From one of the viewers, from one of the Zoomies, apparently a leopard was heard soaring by Gary Dam around 10 to 6 this morning and going towards room 8. So whoever that info is coming from, thank you very much. And I don't want to waste any time. Actually, I want to jump on board now and go and investigate around Vubu Road, see if we can find any track or any leopard. And we'll try to catch up with the Tsalala Pride as well. Hopefully they're still around, not too far. I don't think they went too far overnight. There is no other game drive vehicles out yet, but I will keep an ear on the radio and see what's happening. So let's jump on board and let's try to find a leopard. Sure, I'm sleepy this morning and the wind is not helping. It's making my eyes cry. I need that coffee to kick in. It's quite chilly this morning. It's nice and warm if you actually stop, because when you're driving the wind is still a bit chilly. But yeah, it will warm up. Sure, as soon as the sun comes up, it's gonna warm up nice and it's gonna get nice and warm. Is it on channel 2 or 1?
I mean, you can go over that side, but just not down towards the rims.
Yeah, okay. Juma Viatela coming?
Good morning.
Good morning. There was a lingue coloring by Gary Dam and thundering towards room 8. So I want to go and investigate around Vubu Road. Can I have permission to go there? Are all your guests out, Ephraim?
Yeah, the rest is coming to the room, boy. Yeah, you can start to be checking at that. I want to check those in Ghana from Lawson at the Tsalala.
Alright, thank you. Yeah, let's keep each other updated. Thanks, Ephraim.
Okay, copy. You haven't booked any calls at that side?
No, not yet. Negative.
Okay, copy.
Hello, Miss Nyala. Where's the leopard? Did you see a leopard?
Morning, Momo.
All fluffy this morning. Hello, little one.
Mobile station, route and update, please. Breaking off from not copying anything.
Okay, let's try follow up on that leopard before it goes too far.
Oh, can you cooperate and what is your route plan? What is your route plan? Yeah, I'm on the quarantine. Yeah, I'm on the moon. I like to check around Angus Kaya, King James, 2000 Gallon Conta. Okay, copy that, thanks. I will check his always. I'll get a bit. Surprise, you see. Day before.
No, it's okay, man.
And then the no one was 14,000 conto.
Sun's coming up behind me. Where are you?
Yeah, morning post, nothing so far, just my name is Uber. Quarantine, I'm on the condensed heading today. No, of course I got it there. Well, I did try to look at those in Congo with those in Ghana. Big. I said it for Salala from last night. You know where the West? Western Guard all day. There again? Then Salala. Do you know where they came from yesterday? Or they were at the Gary side all day yesterday? Yeah, look like them because we didn't book any concert. Like yesterday, we driving from the gate round up to town. We didn't book any concert. I'm surprised since I saw those in Ghana like a day before, waiting for the cheaper. Okay, go with thanks. That's from Combi. Also, playing campus. Okay, come in. Are you confirm what I study group? Sam? That's fine. You know, that's probably. Okay, copy. My daughter. Sam. Okay, copy. I'm far east down whereby by the open area. But I'm gonna make my way there. Okay, confirm. I'm going. Okay, copy. Confirm that we're by Detroit. We're just north of that heavy pad. But on that line there. Okay, copy. Yeah, now I'll see. I'll make my way back to. Open. Oh? Yeah, morning, open. Copy, you know. What is your route now? Okay, copy that, thank you.
Can't hear anything or any alarm calls from birds or other animals. Señala. Señala. Yeah, good idea. So if we have any new viewers, this is actually Juma Vuyatela Lodge, and well, that's room 8. Yeah, that's room 8, room number 8, and the reason why I'm here it's because one of the zoomies saw a leopard going towards that room around 10 to 6. So I just want to investigate. See if we can find anything around that area. Okay, just give me a minute. Alright, I think we should maybe just come back on Vubu Road. And let's hope that leopard didn't go in the thick bush here. Otherwise, there's no way we can find him now. Okay, Mark, you can. Apparently, we got a few questions. Morning, Bree. Welcome on board this morning. Bree wants to know if there are any cheetahs in the area. We'll just get back to that 2 tracks I was on. That'd be easier. I wanted to take a shortcut here.
Yeah, I always get caught by this one actually. I always get caught by this one. It always looks like you can
Yeah.
Coming from Simban, closing out and down.
I'm sure from last night that another one was on.
We drive around, want to see, take Gary Dead, long condo. Now I'm okay.
That's
I
right.
just took cut. Take Gary Dead to cut line, Buras.
Yeah, it sounds like those lions
Yeah,
so far.
the way while the Galapans last night day, because by room 1, Maldi can turn his summer, because next to the Maldi, turn to the east.
Maybe went around the road. Yeah, maybe they might go for Martin then Google Road.
Yeah, I'm allowed to check that side.
Yeah, stations. I was on Vubu Road, just went down towards the Vuyatela Lodge to follow up on Ingwe, who was out coloring around 10 to 6 and going towards room 8. Can't find anything, so I'm gonna get back on Vubu Road and try see if I see some of those and galas and conzos. Okay, all right. Question time. If we have any cheetah in the area, We don't have any resident cheetahs, and but we do get them from time to time. We do get them from time to time, but sure, very seldomly. I had this year, I think we had cheetahs maybe a couple of times. Yeah, we consider ourselves pretty lucky when we get cheetahs. There is a neighboring lodge who tends to have cheetahs quite often, but here on our property, unfortunately, they've been seeing cheetahs actually last. Really need to be very lucky to get them. They're usually always very shy because when they arrive here, they're not in their territory. They're on the move, and they usually don't stay for long, maximum of a couple of days, and then they're gone, or then they're gone again. So, but it's always nice to see some cheetahs. Actually, not even sure I've seen cheetahs this year. Yeah, maybe at the beginning of the year. Alright, I need to keep an eye open on the road for those lions' tracks, because it sounds like nobody is picking up any track. The tracks that people have picked up so far, the tracks from last night. We've got some tracks on Triple M. That means they've been moving the whole night, and they're already quite far, those lions, the Tsalala Pride. We thought that they might stick around and stay around Gary Dam tonight. They usually take it easy. They usually chill at night and do not disappear in the morning. But this time, it looks like they did. Unfortunately. So we were quite lucky to have them last night. Well, that guy had actually picked up on his 3 lions tracks, or lioness tracks on Triple M, so still missing 2 lioness. They can split, they do split sometimes, so we could still have 2 lioness on our property and 3 in a neighboring property. Hi Brenda, welcome on board Brenda. Lovely morning in Africa, isn't it? It would be even more lovely if we could find a leopard, some lions. Trying our best, yeah. Brenda wants to know how do we, or if we do regulate the traffic around the reserve, and if the guides need some permission to drive around in some places, and if we and she wants to know who I was talking to on the radio. Yes, there is some regulation, Brenda. Lodges have only what we call traversing areas. So basically they pay per year, they pay some traversing fees to other lodges, to other traversing areas to be able to drive on their property. And if you don't pay those traversing fees, then you will only be able to drive on your own property. So most of the lodges pay a lot of traversing fees to be able to traverse into other properties. And morning, Ephraim.
God.
So yeah, Brenda, this is how that's kind of how we regulate the traffic. Obviously, if you come here with your car, you can't drive around here with your own car. It's not like Kruger National Park where you have free access with your own car. Here you arrive with your car, you drop your car at the lodge, and then you jump on board with one of the guides in one of those open vehicles, and then you'll be taken on safari with a professional guide. But yeah, each lodge will pay some traversing areas to be able to drive in other lodges' properties, and that's why I was talking on the radio to other lodges. Well, I was mainly talking to Juma Vuyatela's guides, just to like kind of follow up with them on what they're seeing, if they've picked up any tracks and which roads they are on. And I was also letting them know that I'm also trying to follow up on the leopard, and that one of the zoomies saw around 10 to 6, and letting him know which road I am and if I see anything. So that's why you will hear the radio quite often on the vehicle. The radio sometimes get quite busy, especially if we get some very nice sightings around. Another way to regulate the traffic is, for example, if we get a nice sighting, then you will have a maximum of 3 vehicles allowed per sighting. And sure, another snake track. Snakes are getting more and more active now, whether in summer or in spring. And so it would be a maximum of 3 vehicles per sighting. And if you want to join the sighting, you'll have to ask for permission. And if there are already 3 vehicles in the sighting, then you'll be what we call on standby. And you can be standby number 1, you can be standby number 2, number 3, depending on the sighting and where it is. Sometimes it can get very easy to get into it. Sometimes you might have to wait a bit. Usually vehicles will stay around 15-20 minutes max per sighting. Sometimes less, it depends on the guest. Sometimes if it's like some lions sleeping, then sometimes guests get quite tired of it after 5-10 minutes, and then they ask the guide to leave already. So it all depends. But yeah, once you're in the sighting, then you also have to keep an ear on the radio for other people wanting to join, and always keep in mind that you might have to leave the sighting pretty soon to just leave another vehicle in, so that everyone gets a chance to see animals. And 3 vehicles is for adult animals. If it's a sighting with, let's say, lion cubs, very young cubs, or leopard cubs, then it can be, depending on the age of the cubs, it can be only 1 vehicle. If they're very young, only 1 vehicle will be allowed, and no lights at all at night. Like you won't be able to shine the light. And if they're a few months old already, then you can have 2 vehicles per sighting. So that's another way to regulate the traffic. Traffic is also kind of regulated off-road. You don't have to go. You can't go off-road for animals which are not really part of the big 7. So your big 5 plus cheetahs and wild dogs. Depending on how interesting a hyena would be, you might be able to go a little bit off-road and follow up on. Try to follow the hyena, see if she can take you to a den, or if she's on a hunt, or if she might be going back to a kill. Oh, if he's going there, there's no point for me to go there. Just don't want to be following Ephraim. There's no point having 2 vehicles right behind each other. So let's carry on this way. You might lose me now, going through a dip. Actually, I'm sure you will lose me. We always lose signal around here. Okay, we're back. So yeah, Brenda, just to finish with your question, that's why the radio is quite busy sometimes. But and also sometimes, like now, the signal is bad, so it's breaking up. I'm not too sure what he said now. But I think he had some tracks somewhere by Mamba Road. But yeah, it's part of the experience. Some guests, when they are at the back of the vehicle, they enjoy hearing or listening to what's happening on the radio. Some don't like it at all. That's why you find some rangers have some earpiece, and you won't hear the radio at all. And now that we've changed the mic, you probably pick up the radio more than you used to when the mic was here on my right hand side. Unfortunately, there's not really any other place where I can put it, or I could just hold on to it, but then I'm scared that I just forget about it and I might just fall off my laps on the road and then missing a radio. So sorry if you do hear the radio more than you used to before. I'll just try to keep the sound down, and if I hear something interesting, I can always pick it up and bring it up to my head. But it is part of the experience. If we wouldn't have a radio, there's no way we would be able to see as much stuff as we see. With just one vehicle by yourself, the chances to see or to cover the whole area and find the animals is quite, the chances are quite slim. And that's why we helped each other with radios. All right, if you have got more questions, Mark, I'm ready. Thank you, Gilly. Thanks a lot. Yeah, guys, just to let you know, I actually won a photographic competition the other day, 2 or 3 days ago, and that was for Leica. Leica is a maker of cameras, and Kazanov. So both together, Kazanov is a big tour operator in Europe. Both together, they are running a competition at the moment. And I did send them a few pictures last month, didn't win, or 2 months ago. I didn't win, and then last month I tried again, and they really liked my picture. I took a picture of a lion, I put lions in mind this morning. I took a picture of an elephant when we were in Kruger during our previous leave with Tara and Herman and Craig and Kelly, who used to work here. And we did a bit of a trip in Kruger, and we came across that nice elephant car having a dust bath. And it was the end of the day, golden hour of the day, light was really nice. And I was lucky to snap a few shots, and one of them came out really, really nice. So they liked that picture, and they actually made me the monthly winner. which is awesome. Makes me want to actually send more pictures to more competitions now, or magazines and stuff, just to see what I can get from them. I'm not looking after big prices. Just the fact that your picture is out there is makes you kind of happy and proud about your work. But yeah, thanks Gilly, and thanks to everyone actually who did leave some comments on my Facebook profile saying congratulations, beautiful picture. Thanks a lot. It did put a big smile on my face that day. And Gilly was actually asking which animal I enjoy photographing the most. It's difficult to answer. It's like, what is your favorite animal? Sure. I really enjoy taking pictures of cats on a kill because there is a lot of action and moments to capture. But also the one that I really like taking pictures of is elephants. Like I will always, I don't know, you never get, you have when you're a photographer, you have thousands of pictures of elephants, but you still keep taking some when you bump into Elise. I mean, I look at Mark every time he's chilling with a herd of Elise. He's got his camera and he's taking some pics, and he's got thousands of them on his laptop. But let's just have a quick look here at Buffelshoek Dam, guys, see if we can hear any sounds or if there is any animals drinking. Maybe quite early in the morning to have animals drinking. But so yeah, I can't really tell you what is my favorite one. I really kind of enjoy taking pictures, even if you think about impalas, like a nice impala portrait. But it's not, you see, when I wouldn't really take my camera out of my bag, or unless the light is really nice and unless those impalas are doing something really special, then I would. But otherwise, I've got already so many pictures of them. I think, yeah, if I have to answer, the best answer I could give you, Gilly, would probably be any of the cats, leopards or lions or cheetahs. Especially when they're on the move, when they're doing something, walking or being on a kill, or when they're hunting, it's quite difficult because we have to be, when they're stalking, you have to be quite aware of the situation, looking around and be ready to start the car and stuff, so you don't really have time for pictures. I've got a baby hippo there. And you can get quite, also with elephants, what I like about it is you can get quite arty with your pictures. You can take a kind of a looking normal picture of an elephant, but then in post-production, playing a little bit with effects, you can put it in black and white and play with the black and the white, and you can turn out the picture. You can make that picture looking really nice. See all of those heavy animals that you photograph that have monochrome colors, then it's always worth trying to do a bit of post-prod on it and turn it into black and white. And sometimes a picture with colors doesn't really, it's not really catchy, but if you put it in black and white, sometimes it does make it a little bit more catchy. And yeah, it's always nice to play around with pictures that way. Alright, wildlife is waking up, sun is coming up, starting to get a bit warmer already. Let's keep driving around. Might be a cat on the road somewhere. Yeah, I remember some people were asking me also on my Facebook wall. Well, I'll talk to you just now because you're going to lose me through the deep. So see you in 10 seconds, 20, 30 seconds. So yeah, some people were asking me what camera I used, and I used my Sony Alpha 200, and Tara's got the same camera as well, and we're actually very surprised of the quality of pictures we can take with that camera. Tara came up with some very nice pics of everything, elephants, leopards, and so did I. And I don't know, when you're out there in the photography industry, everyone talks about Canon and Nikon, and which I agree they're better than our Sony Alpha, but I think you can pull off some very nice pics with just a Sony Alpha, which is a bit cheaper than a Canon, obviously, but then you win on the prices of the lens, because then the lenses that you can put on a Sony usually would be your Sigma lenses, and they are cheaper than your Canon lenses or Nikon. And obviously they're not as good, but if you don't have the right budget, and if you don't want to go big or like become like a professional photographer, and the Sony Alpha is a really good camera to play around with. And Tara's got some awesome shots, and I also managed to pull off some very nice shots with that Sony Alpha, so we're really happy about that camera. You had a problem with your lens though.
Sorry?
Tara had no, I was just talking about our camera, Tara.
Oh,
And,
sorry, I'm
this-
miles away.
No, it's fine. About our Sony Alpha, saying that we're actually happy about them, eh?
Yeah,
Can
definitely.
They can take very nice pictures. But Tara had a problem with her lens. She's also got a 300mm lens, like I do, and she had to send her lens to Dubai for some fixing. She just got it back 2 or 3 weeks ago.
No, they fixed it, hey?
They fixed it, yeah. It's working
They had
fine
to go all
now.
the way back to Dubai, because I've never seen that problem before.
Yeah.
That elephant pitch that you took, that you got the competition, you won the competition.
Yeah.
Was awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was talking about it as well. Yeah, thanks, Tar. Yeah, you were in the car with me when I took it.
Yeah.
Remember?
Someone blocked my view.
Eh?
I was also trying to take the same picture and someone blocked my view. I was on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, I was lucky. I was on the good right side of the car.
But to be fair, I didn't have my lens with me at the time, so it wasn't
True, yeah. Yeah, you didn't have your 300mm at the time. But I remember Herman had the camera actually, because Herman was sitting next to me at the back of the car. We were all in Craig's
yeah, it
car.
was Herman that blocked the view, actually.
And Herman was, because that elephant car was first on the right hand side of the vehicle, just walking. And Herman was just playing with my camera, taking some shots. And then as she walked in front of the car, I saw that she was going to stop on the left inside of the car. And I'm like, Herman, just give me the camera quickly in case she does something there. And as I finished my sentence, she was starting to do some dust bathing, sand bathing, and I just snapped away. And luckily I had the car was stopped, and I think I used Craig's window as a support, so the camera was quite steady because I was all the way zoomed in with my 300mm, and it came out very sharp. I've got another picture, actually the one after that one, the one after the one
Oh,
up.
with the trunk curl.
No, the one where it's actually just dust, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
just a big cloud of dust, and you can just slightly, I mean, if you don't know, you wouldn't know that there is an elephant in there. You'd think, oh, okay, it's just a picture of a big cloud of sand or dust. But because I know my picture, I can see the forehead of the elephant, and I actually like that picture as well. But that's because I know what it represents for me, and I know what happened, and I know what to look for in the picture. But if I show it to you, you'll probably see the elephant, but it won't catch your attention as much as that one that I've won the competition with. So yeah, and I won a pair of binos. Some people were asking. I won a pair of nice binoculars. I could either win a small Leica camera, which I actually would have enjoyed because they're nice, they're small and practical, and actually very good quality. You can take some very good quality pictures with that camera. Leica is very good make. So you could either win that or very nice pair of binoculars worth quite a lot of money, which I'm happy with because I don't really have nice binos. I've got some decent ones, but they're not like as good. They're not really the best for this job, for bird watching and things like that. They're a bit too small, not powerful enough. But apparently the ones I'm going to get now should do the job. So let's see. Okay, all right, I'll answer a bit faster, Mark. Sabrina, welcome on board, Sabrina. Well, Sabrina is doing her first game drive with us, so that's great news, Sabrina. She says she's enjoying it. Well, I'm glad you're on board with us, Sabrina. Try to come as often as you can. You won't be disappointed. We always get some nice stuff to show you or to teach you, and it's worth trying to connect during our game drive time, 6 to 9 in the morning and 3:30 to 6:30 in the afternoon, Central African time. Sabrina is in 11th grade, so that's great, Sabrina. Just enjoy, buckle up and stay with us, and see if we can find something. I hate these kind of sightings. Okay. Handbrake. First gear. I'm gonna do it again. No, I just want to pick up some.
Oh.
It's just.
Where there's humans, there's litter.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it's a sighting that I hate, and drive around and I see a empty bottle of whatever, or can, or plastic bag. It just hurts my eyes. I don't know how it can end up there, though. Obviously, someone threw it out of the car, or
Well, they had a drink stop here.
they had a drink stop here, exactly, and just left a bottle behind, which is just gonna take thousands of years to decompose. And all right, Sabrina was asking how do I like fighting animals. I think you mean, by your question, you mean if I enjoy my job. Yes, Sabrina, very much so. It's a job that you do for passion and lifestyle, and of course make a living out of it. We all do make a living out of it, but you do it first for the passion and the lifestyle. There is no better job for me than being out there in the bush, just drive around, find some animals, learn about animals, teach you stuff about animals, the stuff that I know. It's a very satisfying job, and since I've been a kid, my favorite cartoon movie was The Jungle Book, and Mowgli got me hooked. At a very young age, I was playing Mowgli style in Gabon in the forest, and then I grew up and I started to realize that I couldn't live like Mowgli. Not that I was walking around naked and stuff, don't worry guys, I wasn't that eccentric, but just passionate about what was out there, and I just decided to learn, study it, and then work in this field. So yeah, I do enjoy it, Sabrina, very much, and I'm glad you're with us, because if you wouldn't be, then I wouldn't have a job, you know. So thank you for giving us the best job in the world, to all of us, to Mark, Tara and myself. Julie, Gary, and maybe a few other people, welcome on board. They're asking, Julie, Gary, and a few viewers are asking about Fireside Chat. When is it gonna happen? Apparently, Julie's never watched one, so she really doesn't want to miss it. No, please don't miss it, Julie. I'm sure you will enjoy it. It will be tomorrow. Sunday. So tomorrow, after game drive time, after the PM drive. So the PM drive will finish at 6:30 Central African time, and then we'll go live with the Fireside Chat at 7. So half an hour after the PM drive. So what I suggest is, after the PM drive, if you can, just stay connected, maybe have a look at Tuma Waterhole or at Pit Ponds, and wait for half an hour, and then at 7 o'clock, Mark, myself, and Tara will be, well, I should say Tara, Mark, and myself, if I want to be very polite. Always put the lady first. See, I'm good this morning,
Okay,
Tara.
can I have that in writing? You just called me a lady.
Sorry?
Can I have that in writing? You just called me a lady.
Yeah, I should write it down. I called Tara a lady. I mean the chick.
Right.
No, you are a lady, Tara. You are. So yeah, Tara, Mark, and myself will be sitting around the fire, and sorry, I'm just thinking where to go. And we'll be talking about what happened during the last 2-3 weeks since we've restarted the drive. And we actually never really know what we're going to talk about before we go live. We just figure it out once we're live in front of the camera, and actually we always have things to talk about and things to share with you. So guys, join us tomorrow, 7 o'clock Central African time. Teresa. Yeah, in that truck. Teresa, welcome on board, Teresa. Teresa wants to know what's the temperature like. She says in where she is, it's 103 degrees Fahrenheit. And she wants to know what's the temperature like here. Well, if we look at Tara's, yeah, it says just under 10 degrees, but it's not working.
Yeah, but it's in the shade, remember?
Yeah, but it's not 10 degrees there, is it? I really don't think it will be 10 degrees there, especially with the engine running. No, Tara, sorry, I think you wasted your money on that one.
Yeah, at least it was only a couple of quid.
Yeah, it wasn't too expensive. It is probably, we're in spring now, so it does get warm. I know I don't look like I'm warm because I'm wearing a jacket. Sorry guys.
First year. Don't kill yourself.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson, eh? And brake in first gear before I get out of the car. Alright, let me think. What temperature? It's probably around, at the moment, right now, as I'm talking, it's probably around, yeah, it is quite warm already. If I stop the vehicle, it's probably around 20 degrees, just above 20 already. Early this morning when we started the drive, with the wind factor when you're driving, it was probably around between 10 and 15 maybe, or between 15 and 20, around 15 I would say, around 15. Which is much warmer than it used to be. A couple of months ago at the beginning of the drive, when we used to go out at 6, it would have been, or 6:30 in the middle of winter, it was probably around 5 degrees on some mornings, even sometimes below 5 degrees when you're driving. So it's getting a bit warmer. Got some kudus here. Stop for a minute or two. Female kudu browsing on some leaves. There are a few more on the right hand side, but they're quite far in the bush. You won't be able to see them from here. Hello? You listening to what I'm saying? Station manager was down for a bit. Any update on those Ngalas?
Yeah, I think they gone just close to the waiting for.
Alright, copy. Thank you. Alright, so those lions are gone to the west, unfortunately. So they must have been walking the whole night. Very pretty antelope, and the kudus. One of the biggest out there. Not the biggest, but one of them. The biggest, but we don't get it here. Biggest would be your eland, and we don't get them here in Sabi-San Game Reserve. But kudus are not far behind. You can see they're much bigger than impalas. Male kudus are really handsome as well. I think yesterday or a couple of days ago, Mark, maybe it was you yesterday, saw a couple of big male kudus with those big beautiful horns. Females don't carry horns, males do. And they've got a very good eyesight, a very good sense of smell and sense of hearing. You can see with those big ears, they can capture a lot of sounds. And they're very well camouflaged as well, especially in the dry season, in winter time, like at the moment. When they are quite deep in the bush, you can drive past them and you won't see them if they don't move. And usually that's their politics. They try to stand still, don't move, and then if you see them and stop the vehicle, unless they're quite far, like now, I mean, there's quite a lot of distance between her and us, so she wouldn't run away. But if she would be quite close, she would be standing still, and if I stop the vehicle, most of the time they just realize that, oh, oopsie, saw me, alright, and then they just run away. Otherwise they'll just stand still and look at you driving past. Yeah, look at those big ears. Alright, let's keep going with our safari. Our safari in Africa. Got a pair of stinkbucks on our left hand side. Let's see if they're gonna be okay with us. Don't run, don't run. Okay. They're usually quite shy, the stinkbucks.
Just reverse back a little
If I reverse a bit, okay.
Yeah, turn to the side, forget it.
You guys gonna stay here now? Yeah, run away again. You'll find that stinkbugs are usually in pairs, male and female. The male here on the right hand side with the horns, and then is female. But they are very skittish, you see, they're very shy. Pretty little antelope. Not too sure what to do. The male is tired. Just went on his knees. He wants to take it easy now. Stinbocky. I'm not too sure what to do with me. They can run away or if they can trust me. You can trust me, guys. I'm not here to harm.
Move forward.
No, it's okay. Alright, let's get going. Jennifer, welcome on board, Jennifer. So I'm just checking some tracks here. Quite odd, I just wanted to see if I could show them to you, but they're not the best ones. Maybe a little bit further up. Alright. Welcome on board, Jennifer. Sent a couple of questions. First about the kudu chick, saying that she saw a scar. Did you see a scar on that kudu chick? No, eh?
Sorry?
Did you see a scar on that kudu chick? When you were zooming in, yeah. When you were zoomed in, did you see a scar?
Not that I recall, but there was. She looked like she'd had a bit of fur missing or something.
Okay.
Maybe that's what she's talking about.
Yeah, Jennifer, maybe we don't think.
I didn't really fully register it.
We don't think it was a scar. Maybe Tara says that she had a bit of fur missing on her face, so maybe that's what you saw. Otherwise, it could also have been maybe the preorbital glands on the kudu, and that's the glands they use to mark their territory. So maybe that's also what you saw. I'll have to. I can't really tell you now because I'm not too sure what you saw. I didn't on my screen. Yeah, it was quite bright, so I couldn't really see very well. Didn't pick up any scar, but I'm pretty sure it's either a bit of fur missing, maybe the preorbital gland that you saw.
Not fur missing, but just like she's rubbed herself or something.
Yeah.
So it looked like it worn down a little bit, but I didn't look at it properly.
Yeah, no, me neither. And the other part of your question, Jennifer, was about the birds in winter, if they hibernate and if they do lose weight, or what do they do during winter? Well, depending on the birds species, some birds will just stay here during winter time. They don't hibernate though. Oh, snakes makes sense now. All right. Okay. Sorry, Jennifer. I thought you were asking about birds. Hibernating birds. About snakes. Yes, they do hibernate during winter time. You don't really see snakes during winter time. Oh, okay. No, they don't. All right. Sorry. Okay, they don't hibernate here. So what do they do in winter? Yeah, they would. Yeah, you see, we don't get really temperatures too cold here. It doesn't get as cold as in Europe with snow and freezing temperatures. So snakes, you can still see a few snakes during winter time. They They'll be less active, of course, because it's a bit colder, but you can still, during a warm day in winter, you might still bump into a snake during the middle of the day. Some more kudus. Always a bit of wildlife around here, around that fire break, because of the new grass growing. Very palatable, very rich in nutrients and leaves. Those you'll always find kudus, impalas, and steenboks on that fire break. It's getting nice and warm now. You can see that oxpecker, that bird on the back of that kudu. It's called a red-billed oxpecker. And they usually, or not usually, they are after ticks. And they help the kudus to get rid of their parasites. Quite a nice relationship. They both win from the relationship. Oxpecker gets some food, and the kudus gets rid of his of her ticks. All right. Hello.
Copy. Oh, this coins of for two Madagascar cars that look like they cross into Torchwood. Here from just west of Clotian that are going north.
Okay. didn't want to disturb her in her breakfast. Now that she's done in that little bush, she was browsing in that little bush on the right hand side of the road. So I wanted her to finish what she was doing. Give us an opportunity also to look at something.
Crossing Kruger boundary towards Mahina Dam, Mokberi.
So I wanted to stop at by that bush there. I just wanted to see if we could see what she's been eating, and showing you the marks on the plants. If Tara can zoom in. So a good example would be here. This one.
Sorry, just hold on to that one.
Yeah.
I'm on the other one that you were on.
This one?
Yeah, I was on that one. Where's the other one?
The other one. This one. Can you get that one?
Yeah. Whoa, hold it bigger. Okay.
Yeah, quite interesting. Always to stop at little things like that. They are checking me out. No, not even. Just looking at something else. I said they were. Yeah, this one is looking in that direction. Heard something or saw something. Anyway, just always interesting to stop at little things like that. I just wanted to show you kudus are browsers, and that was just a good example to show you how they browse. They feed on leaves and twigs, and I wanted to show you they tend to get the buds out of from the tip of the twigs or on the twigs, and you can see how the twig was cut. They've got a distinctive, antelopes have a distinctive way to cut twigs, and they basically always leave. That's what I was showing you. You see, it's not like a clean cut. It's always a cut in some kind of a shape like this, and that's because the way they use their teeth. What do you got there?
Stay still. Sorry.
Tara's got something. Perhaps on the leopard.
A mongoose.
Mongoose.
Sunning itself.
In there?
No, just a bit there.
Oh yeah, I see it over there, yeah. Small, little dwarf mongoose, what we call dwarf mongoose.
It looks more like a slender hair.
Oh, is that it is, yeah, sorry. Just had a quick look. I said it was a dwarf. It is a slender.
It's listening to you.
Slender mongoose? Slender! It's got the same head as a dwarf mongoose.
Slightly longer.
A bit longer, yeah.
It's relaxed, eh?
Very relaxed. Very relaxed. That's nice. So anyway, that's why I wanted to show you those twigs, just to show you how they browse. And if you come across a bush like that when you're doing a walk, a bushwalk, then you know that browser's been around and feeding on it. And some of the cuts that I showed you were quite old, and some were a little bit fresher. You can just see by how the twig looks, if the cut is dry or if it's still a little bit humid, wet. Then it gives you an idea of how fresh it is. But yeah, it's always interesting. The little things in nature.
Thank you very much, Abraham, for putting it.
Looks like that slender mongoose is just getting warm in the sun, in the early hours of the morning sun. Just getting some heat. Yeah, very similar to the dwarf, just a little bit bigger, longer nose, longer face, and also the tail is different, a bit longer tail with a black tip at the end of the tail. And also one of the main differences with your dwarf mongoose would be that this one is solitary, where your dwarf mongoose are usually, well, not usually, they are, how you call it, social, or they live in community, in groups. So you will always get, like, most of the time around 10, sometimes more than 10 dwarf mongoose, where this one would just be by himself, solitary. He's closing his eyes there.
Yeah, looks like it.
And sleepy, like me this morning when I started the drive. Sleepy eyes.
Got himself a nice little spot there, eh?
Yeah, Tara saying he's got a nice little spot there. Got a cool breeze, nice sun coming from the east. Now you can see the... no, not really, not yet. Yeah, now you can see the black tip at the end of the tail that I was talking about. Alrighty, let's leave it to it. Carry on with our drive. Another one in front of us. Running away! Rafi, welcome on board, Rafi. Shalom, is that Rafi from Israel? Shalom, Rafi, welcome to our morning drive. Rafi is asking nice questions about tracking. He wants to know if we don't get mixed up sometimes when we track animals, if we don't get mixed up with different animal species. And what do we look for in the tracks, and what do we look for to identify, and how do we not get confused? He says it can get quite difficult sometimes. Yes, definitely, and I'm not the best tracker out there. I don't have a lot of experience in tracking. Slowly but surely getting into it though. You just need to be out there, and the rule of thumb with tracking is of course knowing the basic stuff, but practice and getting your eyes trained with different tracks every day. And the things that you need to look for would be, first of all, the shape of the tracks, and then if you're looking at cat tracks, then you need to know, you need to look for the lobes at the back to see how many lobes there is, to see if, well, predator tracks. You need to see at number of lobes at the back, see if you've got only 2 lobes, 3 lobes, how are the lobes, the size of the track, the shape of the track, and also if there are other tracks around, or if it's just a single track, like from a single animal, or if there are more than one animal. All of this you need to take in consideration. Then if you want to know how fresh it is, then you need to look at the, you need to look how the track looks. If you've got other tracks inside that track, which would be, let's say, nocturnal animals, and they are on top of that track, then that would mean that the track you're looking at is quite old. Nocturnal animals had time to walk over it. If depending on the soil, depending on where you're looking at the track, also if it's let's say if it's in a riverbed, you can easily see if it is quite fresh or not. Fresh tracks are really easy to, or how can I say, they are very well the shape and everything is still perfect, where if it's an old track, then the sand will start falling off from the track, and the shape would be a bit less obvious, and you get lots of leaves and things like that on the track. It's difficult to I need to show you, I need examples of course, but we're getting into that. We're trying to show you as many tracks as we can, guys. But yeah, you need your eyes to get trained, and yes, you do get sometimes confused between tracks, especially of similar species, similar animals. Small tracks are difficult. but there are a lot of tracks out there that you can't get confused with, and those are your basic, your common animals, your antelopes and your big five, your elephants really easy, your rhinos very easy, and something else that you need to look at when you're looking at the track is the direction the animal is walking, and depending on different species, then there is a way from the track to know which direction it was walking into. So you basically, when you're looking at the track, you need to see how fresh it is and which direction it's walking, so you can track it. But yeah, the first thing is to spot the track, and when you're driving, you see some tracks on the side of the road, and your eyes know that most of those tracks you're not gonna stop for impala tracks or kudus tracks, zebra tracks. But if your eye spots something which looks like elephant or predator, rhino, then you kind of slow down and you have a quick look, and then you see what it is, what animals it is from. And once you know that, then you kind of have a better look and see how fresh it is. And if it is old, then you just drive past it. There is no point stopping at a day-old track or 2 days old track. And if it looks quite fresh, then it is worth stopping, looking around, which direction it's walking, and yeah. Tracking is not easy. You need a lot of practice, and the best way to do tracking is actually to be by foot, to be on foot. You need to, because on car like this, you just drive past a lot of tracks. Where if you're on foot, you have time to really look carefully at other tracks, have a book with you, just have a spotted track, even birds tracks, and just try to identify it in your book. And then just the fact to practice and getting used to it, then after a few months you won't need a book anymore. Like, you will know most of the tracks, what they are. And also you need to have a good general knowledge of what kind of animals occur in the area. That's quite helpful, so that you wouldn't get confused and think this is an eland track. Might be an eland track. Oh, let's track an eland, and then to realize that no, there is no elands in the area. So obviously you made a big mistake at the beginning. So you need to eliminate. You need to do a bit of elimination process sometimes when you track as well. Think out of the box. So yeah, Rafi, hope that helps. Trish, welcome on board, Trish, and hi to Trish is asking a question about mongoose, if they live in burrows and if they are solitary or if they live in families. It will depend on your species, Trish. The one we were looking at now was a slender mongoose, so it's a solitary mongoose. And your dwarf mongoose, which would be another species of mongoose, are they live in families. Yes, they can. You can have 10. You can have up to 10, 15 members. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Depends. And they do live in small burrows. These ones, the dwarf mongoose. They will have some burrows inside old termite mounds or around a big log. And that's like their refuge. That's where they hide themselves, and they might move from one termite mound to another one from time to time. But yeah, so depending on your species, and here we get the slender mongoose, you get your dwarf, you get your whitetail. The whitetail mongoose is nocturnal, so you've got more chances to see it during night time, and it is a solitary species. And where your slender and your dwarf mongoose are more diurnal. You get more chance to see them during daylight. You also get your banded mongoose, which also lives in families, but you won't get as. Actually, no, you can get a lot of members of banded mongoose in one family. They have a very nice social structure or system in place, the same as dwarf mongoose actually. They are very well organized social structure. So yeah, it depends on which species you're looking at. Living in burrows, yeah, the dwarf mongoose does, and then the slender mongoose and the whitetail, do they live in burrows?
Sorry?
The whitetail and the slender, do they live in burrows?
They'll probably find somewhere to hide out.
Yeah, they'll find a place to hide out, but it's not like the dwarf mongoose, which
They might take residence in an abandoned hole or...
yeah, they might take residence in an abandoned hole, like an old warthog hole or old den, but it's just for refuge and protection. Dave, good morning to you, Dave. Wanting to know if they scavenge, if mongoose scavenge at kills. Sure, I don't think so. You see, they usually feed on. They don't have the same diets as your big predators out there. They feed on small invertebrates and vertebrates, snakes, and I really don't think they would go and scavenge on a kill. They are proper hunters, so they're not scavengers. But like all predators out there, they are opportunists. So if they would find a dead lizard or something, then they would obviously take it and feed on it. But put it this way, you would not have a slender mongoose trying to scavenge on a old buffalo kill, trying to chase the lions away. They don't feed on that. Jewel wants to know what animals are related to mongoose. Well, mongoose belongs to the family of the Viveridae, if I'm not wrong. That's right. Mark? I think it is the family of the Viveridae. Yeah, the family of the Viveridae. And what animals are related to? Sure, I'll have to look for you.
Is that the mongoose?
Yeah.
Herpsidae.
Sorry?
It's Herpsidae family.
It's not Viveridae?
No, that's the civets and genets.
Ripistidae, okay.
Herpsidae.
Okay, different family. Different family than I thought. The Viveridae family is more your genet and civet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what animals are they related to, the mongoose?
Mongoose, if I can remember rightly, I think it's just a family on their own. It would be the meerkats. Well, the meerkat is a mongoose.
Yeah.
Herpsidae, I don't remember anything from Africa being in there. There might be something from the other continents.
Alright, okay. So Tara is saying it's quite of a family on its own. You get the meerkats in that family as well, which is
No, the meerkat is a mongoose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you get the meerkats in that family. This type of mongoose, but so on this continent in Africa, they're not really related to anything else. It's just a family on its own. But maybe on other continents. Hello Julie, welcome on board. Also your first safari, nice. Hope you're enjoying it. Julie's wanting to know if the animals we come across are quite relaxed in our presence, if they if they become more relaxed. Yes, they are. Julie, they are. You see, it depends on the animals you come across, because Sabisen Game Reserve communicates with Krugers, so you might find sometimes some herds of Ellies which are not really too relaxed in our presence, and that's not because of us, that's just because of their own character. Some more kudus. Sounds like it's a kudu morning. We had a few giraffe days, and now we're gonna have a few kudus days. I haven't seen a male yet though, it's only females. So depending, yeah, you might come across some very relaxed elephants and some less relaxed, but in generally, like, most of the animals are relaxed. I mean, if you look at that female kudu now, she's like 20-30 meters away from the vehicle, and she's not, they're always a bit shy, but she's quite relaxed. They are used to the vehicles, they're used to they are used to us. Your cats, your lions and your leopards are also quite used to the vehicles, but funny enough, they'll be more used to some vehicles than others, depending on experience that they had with those vehicles. Kerula, for example, or Kerula Mishu in Duna, they are very relaxed around us, but they won't be really relaxed with other vehicles around. It just depends. They might have a bad experience one day with a vehicle, and they just don't forget, and they kind of react a bit differently than the way they would react with us. If you're on foot, it's completely a different story. And when you're on a vehicle, they are used to vehicle a lot. All of the animals, your antelopes, your predators, your elephants. But when you're on foot, it's a different story. You can't approach a kudu like we just did now by car. They are a lot more skittish, more scared, because now they can see that it's a human. It's an animal with 2 legs, quite tall, and another slender mongoose on the road. So on foot, it's not that easy to get close to animals. You need to be very careful as well. But by car, yeah, they are very relaxed around us. See, they've been around vehicles for many years now, and they know that it's harmless and that they can trust the vehicles, and thanks to that we can get into some very nice sightings and just get very close to the animals without putting ourselves in a dangerous position. Sorry? Oh yeah, squirrels shouting. There. Got the squirrels, yeah. Alarming. Seen something. Could be a snake. Getting quite warm, and snakes are very active at this period of the year, getting into spring. He's just stopped now. What did you see, little one? What did you see that we don't see? Oh, he seems pretty relaxed now, so it was probably a false alarm. False alert. But that was a tree squirrel, by the way, guys. And we always keep an ear out for them when we're on drive. They are a good indicator of any predator around. If you see a tree squirrel sitting on a branch, looking in one direction and shouting, then you know that it's a sign. It's a sign that there is a predator around, and it could be a snake, could be an eagle, could be a cat, a leopard, or a lion. Any form of predation. So it's always worth stopping, listening, looking around. Alright, Teddy in California. Alright, quite a lot of questions in one question. So Teddy wants to know how many babies mongoose have, and if they're called pups or cubs, or you probably call them, sure, I don't know actually, mongoose pups, probably not cubs because they don't belong to the cat family. Offsprings, I would say. So would you call them mongoose cubs if you see baby mongoose babies? No, me neither. Yeah, I'm not too sure either. Don't think they really have a name. And how many they have, that will depend on your species, but also really need to read about that, Teddy. Probably around an average of 4 to 4 offsprings. What was the rest of the question? Yeah, what's the gestation period? You see, Teddy, it's you need to kind of give me what species of mongoose you want me to talk about, because if it will differ from one species to another one. I can give you general ideas. Gestation period for mongoose would be around a month and a half. But then if you want to go into specific numbers, details, then it would be different from one species to another one. And kind of the same thing with number of offsprings. 2 to 4. Sorry? Huh? Freshly dung. Okay, thanks, Ta. Ta always got an eye for dung. Let's stop here quickly, Teddy. I'll have a quick look. Oh, we've got a nice grey heron over there sitting on the dam wall. Valentine is saying a baby mongoose is called a pup. Okay, thanks, Valentine. Let's get some facts. Alright, so Teddy, I've got a book in front of me. Your dwarf mongoose. Let's start with the slender mongoose, which is the one we were looking at just now. Your slender mongoose will have a gestation period of 2 months and a number of young of 1 to 3. And I can even tell you at what age they get weaned. They get weaned around 1 month and a half to 2 months. So that's your slender mongoose. The one we see quite a lot around here is your dwarf mongoose. So let's talk about that one. Your dwarf mongoose has got a gestation period of just over a month and a number of young of 1 to 6, where your slender had 1 to 3. So that you kind of explain that maybe because your dwarf mongoose, like I said, lives in families, where your slender is more solitary. So the slender will have less babies than your dwarf mongoose, which lives in families. So 1 to 6 for the dwarf mongoose, and then the weaning would be complete around just over a month and a half. So pretty much like your slender mongoose. And then we get the white-tailed mongoose, which I'm sure some of you have seen on drive at night. Sometimes we do see if we do sometimes get or bump into a white-tailed mongoose. And this one, quite a big one, bigger than the slender, and a big fluffy white tail. This one will have a gestation of 2 months, so like your slender mongoose, and a number of young from 1 to 4. So you'll have 1 to 4 pups, and then they will be weaned around 2 months old. And then finally your banded mongoose, which I haven't seen here yet. Do you get them here, the banded mongoose?
Yeah.
Huh?
I've seen them a couple of times, but we don't see them.
So, yeah, Tara, I've seen them a couple of times. I haven't yet. One day, hopefully. So your banded mongoose, which would be size-wise between your whitetail and your slender mongoose. So quite smaller, a little bit smaller than the whitetail and a bit bigger than your slender. And these ones have a gestation period of 2 months, so the same as your slender and your whitetail. And then we'll have 1 to 8 pups, and then the weaning will be completed around a month and a half to 2 months. So, nice. Basically, to summarize, all mongoose here have a gestation period of 2 months, except your dwarf mongoose, who will have just a little bit over 1 month. And then your slender mongoose will be the one with the less pups. She will have only 1 to 3. The species which got the most pups would be your banded mongoose with 1 to 8. And then your dwarf, 1 to 6. And finally your white-tailed mongoose, 1 to 4. And I think, yeah, that for me, it's easy to remember that, because your slender and your whitetail are solitary, so they only have 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 pups, where your dwarf mongoose and your banded mongoose are very social, and they live in families, and they have 1 to 6 and 1 to 8. And I think the banded mongoose is even lives in bigger groups, bigger communities than the dwarf mongoose. So that's how to remember that they have more pups. 1 to 8 for the banded, 1 to 6 for the dwarf mongoose. Cool, awesome. Learning as we go along, guys. Thanks for that question, Teddy. That was interesting, just to stop and open a book about that and get some numbers. And thanks, Staff, for panning around the dam while I was talking. Did you see anything interesting? Just hippos, yeah. It's quiet this morning. Alright. Mark is getting bombarded with questions, so you can go forward, Mark, if you got some other questions about mongoose or whatever, fire away. Yeah. Okay. Oh. All right. Nice, Sandy. Sandy wants to know if... Good morning, Sandy. Sorry. Welcome on board. Always greet the people. There's nothing worse than not greeting people. One of the things my father always taught me when I was young. And I can tell you, if I would see my dad in the morning and not say, good morning, Dad, sure, I would be in big trouble. So always greet people that you see. Even if it's just a quick good morning, but then if you can add a smile on your face, it's even better. Might make that person's day, you know? Or make her or him a little bit happier. See, looking at someone smiling always makes you, or puts you in a better mood. So anyway, good morning, Sandy. Welcome on board. With a smile. And Sandy wants to know if the hyena den is active or still active. Yeah, it is, Sandy. It has been very active for the last few days. Well, very active. I was there a couple of days ago, and I think, well, I was there in the morning. It was pretty active a couple of days ago, and then when we went there in the afternoon, there was no activity there. But I heard on the radio this morning someone went there and said that it was active. So some hyenas were there. Might be worth going there and having a look at it, having a look at the den, either on this drive this morning, maybe just a little bit later, or this afternoon. If I don't get time, or if I don't get a chance to go there now, I'll definitely make my way there this afternoon and see if we can have a look at Teddy, see how big he's getting. He's growing up every day, and see how he's interacting with the other hyenas now. I think they do, Diane. Diane, good morning to you. Diane is asking if Steenbok's made for live. I know clip springers do, and I think Steenbok do as well. Do they mate for life, Ta?
Sorry?
Steenboks, do they mate for life?
They're monogamous up to a point, I think. Right.
Yeah, Tara's not too sure either. They are monogamous.
They do, because it's the Daker that isn't always. Yeah, Steenbok are.
Yeah, Steenboks are, and Tara is saying it's the Daker, which is not always, we don't always mate for life. Oh, blue waxbill, very pretty little bird. Maybe if I reverse, we'll come back on the. It looks like it was feeding on that old elephant dung on the road. Let me see if I reverse. Maybe we'll get a look at it. Let me stop here. See if he's brave enough to come back. He's still waiting in that tree on the left-hand side of the road. There he's flying above my head. Gone. Okay. Well, was worth trying. Blue waxbill. Very pretty bird. Little, but with some nice blue colors on it. So yeah, Steenbok do mate for life, or pair for life. How romantic is that?
Maybe just double check that.
Yeah, we'll double check that. But I think so too. I know clip springers do.
Yeah, clip springers definitely do.
Yeah,
I'm just remembering my old reserve, we used to see them there a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, Tara is saying in the old reserve where she used to work, she used to see a pair a lot, always together. Yeah. Yeah, Tara is saying if you see one, you usually see another one. Steenbok, they are most of the time in pairs. Brenda, good morning to you, Brenda. Brenda is asking if what's my feeling on the most dangerous animals, and she says she's petrified of snakes and how do we handle them here. Well, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of snakes either, but that's because of my own fault. It's because I'm not curious enough to know them. It's like everything in life. When you're scared of something, you're scared about it until you actually get to know more about it and get knowledge about it and go beyond your fear and try to understand, first of all, why are you scared of it, and maybe why you shouldn't be scared of it. And I am scared of snakes, and unfortunately I never had time or the opportunity to learn really about them, how to handle them and things like that. I'd like to do a snake handling course, actually, just to be difficult for me. I'm quite scared of them, but it's just a matter of getting over that fear. And when you live in the bush, you shouldn't be scared of snakes. Otherwise, you might get yourself into a bad situation with a snake. You're not going to know how to react, and that's how things happen. Where if you know about snakes and you know that snake is not venomous, then you go and you know how to handle it, and you won't be scared of it because you know what you're doing. Knowledge is power, and if you got the knowledge about things, then you lose fear, basically. So how do we handle them? Then, well, when we see them on drive, we obviously don't interact. We would film them and leave them be. You know, we don't interact with animals, so we're not the kind of presenters who would go after the snake and pick it up by the tail and bring it to the car to show it to you. Would rather park the car in a nice angle and then zoom in on it and see the snake moving on or doing whatever it's doing. If it's at camp, then we've been into a few situations where we had snakes inside our rooms or inside the kitchen, and then, well, someone who, either a guide from Juma Vuyatela or Mark knows a lot about snakes, Tara as well, they will know if the snake is venomous, and they will know how to handle it. They will know how to remove it from where it is. Once we had one behind the fridge in old funnel control. Who removed it, actually, that one?
That one Warren did.
Warren did, okay.
Snake, my snake stick is not as good as his.
All right. See, Tara's got a snake stick, but Warren, who used to be the previous manager of Juma Vuyatela, had a better stick, so he did remove the snake. Well, how he handled it, I think he removed it, put it in a cooler box, right?
Yeah, we just put it in a cooler box and released it.
And then drove a few kilometers away from the camp and released it.
Yeah, it was spitting cobra.
It was a spitting cobra, Mozambican spitting cobra. So that's your general procedure on how to handle snake. First of
it was actually, it came into all final control when me and Emily were sitting on the couch talking.
Oh, yeah?
And it didn't even look at us, it just went about its business.
Sure. He went straight behind the fridge, huh?
Yeah, and that's happened to me a couple of times. You know, they're not actually after humans. I've been sat and watched a spitting cobra just slither by, look meters away, and they're just looking out for their own business. You know?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys copied Tara, but she was saying that that Mozambican spitting cobra that day who came into Old FC, actually Tara and Emily were sitting on the sofa talking, and that spitting cobra just got into the room and didn't even look at them or care about them. And she was saying it's kind of their attitude. Spitting cobra, Mozambican spitting cobra, are usually not after humans, and they'll just be right next to you and they don't care about you. And that's what that one did. Didn't even have a look or anything at Tara and Emily, just went straight behind the fridge, and then obviously realized that he was kind of into a bad place, not the right environment, and he just curled up behind the fridge, and then had to call Warren to remove it. And usually, the general procedure would be very careful for yourself, but also careful to not hurt the snake, obviously.
That's when there's a problem, is when you try and go.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And try to be as gentle as possible, and that's why you need to know what you're doing. And someone like me, I'll either get hurt or I would hurt the snake. So that's why in this kind of situation, I would not step forward and say, yeah, sure, I'll manage the situation. I'll just first call someone else, see if there is someone else who can handle it. But that's why it's important to know this kind of stuff. And I need to do a bit of training on snakes. I know they're slender mongoose. So it's Hoodoo and Slender Mongoose Day. And yeah, hope I answered your question. It's something important to know about in the bush. Snakes, and also things like scorpions and little stuff like that we actually get quite a lot of them in summer. You need to know what kind of scorpions are bad, which ones are not too bad, which ones are fatal. And same thing with snake. If I get a snake in my room, I need to know if it's a bad one or not. If it's not a bad one, because if you know that it's not a bad one, you can easily remove it yourself. But if you don't know, then you might get yourself into a bad situation, bad position. Actually, just let me get onto old man over there.
Which road are you after?
Sorry? No, I just want to get back on Garryman. Because we've been here earlier on, so I did kind of a nice loop this morning around the whole Buffer Souk area. Still struggling with these roads. I kind of need a map right there all the time to tell me this is this road and this is this road. But that's why I try to drive around there just to get familiar with that area, because I know other areas, I'm starting to know them, but this one is still surprising me sometimes. So after pipeline, it is, that was which one? Leadwood? No, Draken.
That was the loop. It's just a little two-track that leads onto Mamba Road.
Oh, okay.
So after Pipeline, Central, and then Mamba, and then Leadwood.
So which one's going to be the next one?
Leadwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little two-track lies in between Mamba and Leadwood.
Yeah.
It comes out onto Mamba Road.
Okay.
I don't think it's got a name actually.
Randy in Iowa. Welcome on board, Randy. Randy is asking what's the difference between a running track and a walking track. Couple of things. First of all would be how deep in the sand your track is. An animal which walks won't live.
Sorry, I tell a lie. No. That two-track.
Was Leadwood Road.
No, it wasn't. I'm confused now. Leadwood Road.
Because that's Garryman, right?
Yeah.
So, well, that's fine.
But no, that one did come out onto Mamba though.
Yeah, Randy, an animal which walks obviously doesn't leave as deeper track as an animal which runs, and also like you'd see the space between tracks of an animal which runs would be much bigger than an animal which walks. So few things like that will show you the dent in the ground of the track will show you if the animal is walking or if it's running, and space between the tracks. The place where the tracks are, the front feet and back feet, will be different from a walking animal to a running animal. Then I can't obviously give you a straight answer on that, because once again it will depend on species. Not every animal runs the same way or walk the same way. So depending on the species, you will know if that animal was walking or running, judging at the places of the tracks, or comparing where the front feet are with the back feet. Yeah. Something on the road over there. It's moving. You didn't leave your nice binos, Tara, eh? This time. Huh? Yeah, I think the baboons, that's right. Yeah, the Gary Gang. The Gary Gang is on Gary, Maine.
We got that map though. Now I'm very confused. We should have found that virtual map.
Well, which one do you want? This one or mine? Because mine is somewhere on the seats next to you. That's okay, Marco. Just listening to the update as well. Okay, sorry, Mark. The what with the kudus and. Yeah, I can't copy you well. Hold on, Mark. Too much corrugation on the road. All right, try again. Okay, let me go through that dip. Yeah, unfortunately they're moving away from us. I don't think we're gonna get a clear view of them. The Godi, I think that's Godi sitting. Godi is sitting right there. Not the crested view though, it's a lot of branches and trees in the way. God, he's going up that tree. Mr. Gordy. Only male remaining in that herd, in that troop.
Nothing much, only operator is busy spotting the Kankan Gonzo from Rhino Katan towards the airstrip.
Okay, copy that, thank you.
I think try umbrella clearing to the south.
How's that baby? Genesis.
Yeah.
Genesis, and the mum is
His mum is
Shirley. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know how in this Leadwood, with that little two-track definitely goes on to Leadwood. That's where we came out when we did it. One of them did, unless that was the one. There's one that comes around on itself.
Yeah, affirmative. Yeah, must be somewhere around between room 8 and Gary Beverly Katan.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm making my way towards the airstrip. Can you give me your hand?
Okay, copy. Yeah, I bump with the elephant east of Marula Pen. Then because disappear. Or maybe if you come along the boundary, check nicely.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you, man. I just want to confirm, where is that
Alright, let's get going, guys. I still want to try and make my way slowly to the den, yeah, in a den, see if we can get a bit of action there. Alright.
Yeah, from because of power plant and that the cover is not.
Okay, copy.
Good morning. How you doing? Good? Did you have some good stuff this morning?
We just went to the MPCK and
Yeah.
Nice.
Is it active?
yeah,
Well active, yeah.
female.
Did you see the new puppy?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, the black
Yeah.
little puppy. Yeah. Cute, eh?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, with this crowd, we
Yeah. Scaring them away.
we
Yeah.
staying away.
Yeah, that's alright. Also quiet on our side.
Yeah.
A lot of consos, but
We're heading up to go and see Tandi there.
yeah, by
Do you know exactly where she is in the drainage line?
No.
We haven't been able to go there.
we can't traverse there, so
Okay, that's
I also just heard it on the radio.
okay.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You too.
Thanks. Enjoy your drive, guys.
Thanks very much.
Giraffe in the drainage line.
Hmm?
Giraffe.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, one Volvo Gary Beverly Katan just north of Beverly Dam is running towards the Martin.
get going. Vicky in New Mexico, hi to you Vicky, welcome on board. Vicky is referring to yesterday's PM drive when some elephants were busy drinking in the riverbed, digging holes in the riverbed, and she wants to know how do they know that there is water there, and can they smell it, and how deep is the water. Depending on where in the riverbed, the water can be sometimes a meter deep, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less, but they know that they will always be during the dry season. You see the dams get dry, or get even if there is still a bit of water in the dams, it's usually not really clean water. And elephants do get quite difficult with water, and they like their clean water, and that's why they like digging those holes. They know that they will get some proper clean water, a meter deep, also sometimes less than a meter deep. And yeah, they can smell the water. They have a very, very, very good sense of smell. I think it's just yeah, they know, and they know for a fact that in most of the dry riverbeds in winter they can find some water there, and also they can smell it. Arven, good morning to you, Arven, in Nebraska. Arven is asking about termite mounds, if they stay all their lives in the one termite mound, or if they do move the termite mound sometimes, from time to time. Yes, they might move the mound, and that turns into quite a big mission, as you can imagine, moving the queen, which is usually well, I've read they can. I don't know. Mark's saying they can't. I don't know. I've read in a book that they can, and it turns that they can. The termites can move from one mound to another one, and that it's quite a big mission because of the queen to transport. And but okay, maybe I'm confusing. I'll have to read up on that one, I guess. Who was that from again? Someone from Nebraska. Arvin, let me get back to you this afternoon. I hope you'll be on drive this afternoon. I'll do a bit of research on it. I've been reading about termites a few days ago. I was reading, and I don't know where. I think I read that they would do change. They obviously don't really want to do it, but if they are forced to do it, they will change the mound. If they got attacked by some ants and stuff, they would have sometimes have to move to move from one mound, termite mound, to another one. But I might be wrong. I might be confused with something else, and Mark doesn't think so. So I just want to do a bit of read up on that one. I mean, hope you'll be on drive this afternoon. I'll definitely come back to you about that. Quite interesting to know.
Thanks for bro. Very safe.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have time to get to the den, guys. I don't want to speed up the drive anyway. And there's no really point to get there and just have 5 minutes there. So let's keep it for this afternoon. Just take a slow drive back towards quarantine. Got a zebra here and another zebra there. Hello, guys. Can you hear squirrel shouting again over there? Let me move a little bit forward for you, Ta.
See the plane to next.
Phil in Canada, welcome on board, Phil. Phil wants to know if the stick of Phil's safe. All right. Wants to know if the young stick smell was with the Tsalala Pride last night. No, it wasn't. It was only the females that were there last night. How many did you have? 4 or 5? Five of them. So it was the 5 females from the Tsalala Prides only. No stick smells there. If I'm coming? Do you have something on Galago shortcut there, M4?
Yeah, I didn't copy you. I think my red is the problem. Sebastian, if you can copy me. No, we were talking about the 2 Madoras
Alright, copy. Alright, thank you. That's it. I heard Galago, that's fine. Okay, thanks.
Okay, no problem.
Randy in Iowa. Good morning to you, Randy. Welcome on Ganda. Randy is asking if animals, if I think that animals behave better, or not behave better, but like are more relaxed inside game reserves than in unprotected areas in Africa. Well, first of all, there are not too many unprotected areas in Africa where you find wild animals anymore. You get some, like if I think about South Africa, obviously, like there are some areas where you still get wild animals. The Western Cape, you still get some leopards in some of the mountains, but they're definitely not. They definitely don't have the same behavior as inside game reserves. Inside game reserves, animals they feel protected. They feel they are used to vehicles, and just something came up in my mind now. If you just compare Central Africa to Southern Africa, where in Central Africa you do get a lot of unprotected areas in the forest, and when you look at those animals, their behavior is really different. They're very shy, and they usually either charge you or run away from you because they're scared of humans, because there are a lot of poaching. Got a herd of impalas here. Hello guys. Yeah, game reserves are here to protect animals, and animals definitely, in South Africa, there are some very old game reserves, and animals inside the game reserve are very used to vehicles, and they feel safe, so obviously their behavior would be way different than wild animals that you'll find in unprotected areas where they will be scared of humans. They would try to avoid getting close to human activities, where here in game reserves you get animals even inside our camps, inside lodges, and they know humans live there, but they're not scared of getting close to humans, because these humans still pose a threat, but it's not as much of a threat as those animals in unprotected areas. And also you don't really get anymore, unfortunately, you don't really get wild animals in unprotected areas anymore. You do in some places, of course, and luckily there's still some unprotected areas with wildlife around, but no, you can't really compare it with the wildlife that you get into or inside the game reserves. Interaction wise, I'm talking about, like, not behavior of the species by itself, that would be the same behavior, but like the relationship that humans have with animals inside the game reserve is not the same as the one that you'll have with animals in unprotected areas. Be way more difficult to get close to them, and way more difficult to study them, and way more difficult to find them as well. Very difficult to find wildlife. I mean, in the Western Cape you can hike for days and days inside those, or among those mountains, and you will never find a leopard. Check these two there, Tara. Ah, they're done. No, still doing it. Bit of halo grooming going on there.
Yeah, we've just been watching it.
Ah, were you on them? Okay. Bit of halo grooming. Clean me and I clean you. That's also to strengthen the bonds between individuals. Could be the mom and a young boy. You can see his horns are just starting to. Well, no, we're not on there. Sorry. It's okay. It's got some very. yeah, just tiny horns starting to stick out. There we go. Could be a mom with a youngster from the previous year. You see, unfortunately, to come back on that previous question, unfortunately in Africa now the areas which are not protected are what's the word? They are maybe I should turn my sentence other way around. The wildlife in unprotected areas now in Africa unfortunately doesn't last very long, in the way that as soon as an area, or as soon as an unprotected area, or as soon as humans know that inside an unprotected area they can see wildlife, then unfortunately you always get some form of poaching, either for bushmeat or to sell the meat or to sell whatever from the animals that are being poached. And that's because it's an unprotected area, so poachers have an easy access to it. And when I worked in Gabon, we worked in a long way by, which is far inside the country. It takes you 6 hours by train, then we had 3 hours of driving, and then from there we had 2 days and a half of walking inside the forest, through the forest to get there. So you can see it's like a 3-4 days mission just to get there. Train, car, and then basically take the car until the end of the road, and then you stop the car, and then you start hiking and walking through the forest for 2 days and a half. And when we got there, obviously that place was paradise. All the animals there were what we call naive, so some of them have never seen humans. I had the luck to approach Situtungas, which are same family as these guys here. I think if I'm not wrong, it's a Tragelafines family. No?
Same family as the kudu.
Same family as the kudu, yeah. Maybe not. Oh no, not the impalas. You're right. Same family as the kudus. Tragelafines, very beautiful antelope. Situtunga, a little bit like the nyalas, but yeah, slightly different. And they only occur in swamps, and there are quite a lot of them in Gabon. But they are very, very shy. And the one I got very close to never seen human before, so actually came to investigate on me. Came as like 3 meters away. Came close as like 3 meters away from me, and I wasn't by car. I was on foot. And same story with chimps. They would be in the trees and just check you out and like looking at you like, what are you? Who are you? What is that? They've never seen humans before. And places like that in Africa, unfortunately, you don't really get them anymore. They disappear. They disappear very quickly. And my whole point was that we worked there for I think 2 or 3 months with WCS, Wildlife Conservation Society. And after I left the project, maybe 2 or 3 months after that, so let's say 6 months after. And that place was actually discovered by Mike Fay, by the way. I don't know if you guys have heard of Mike Fay. He's a very well-known scientist from WCS, Wildlife Conservation Society. And he did a mega transect from Congo to the west coast of Gabon through the forest with a few pygmies, trackers, and just himself and a few pygmies people just walked in a straight line from Congo to the west coast of Gabon through the equatorial forest, and he discovered that place, which is called Longwe. It's a big open area inside the forest, a clearing where animals go to get some salt minerals. And when he finished his mega transact, he obviously talked to the WCS scientists, gave them the GPS coordinates, and that's how we got there. And 6 months after that, when I left for other things, and I heard that they were busy creating a road, and now, as we're speaking, there is now a road going from that train station where we used to stop and get on a car for 3 hours. Now you basically get on a car for, I don't know, probably 7 hours drive, 8 hours drive, I'm not too sure. And that road takes you right to the camp that camp that we basically created or built, which used to take you a lot of time to get to. Well, now there is a road taking you there, and obviously that was done before creating that place as like a protected area. So opening a road to that place meant all the poachers had access to it, and unfortunately a lot of animals got killed and snared and poached. In that beautiful place where I used to work, where animals were so naive. Now they're not naive anymore. They know that humans are not all good, and they not all have good intentions. And now it is a protected area. It is part of one of the 12 national parks that the President of the Republic of Gabon created, I think in 2005 or 6. He created 12 national parks, and that one is one of them. So it is better, but yeah. Let's carry on. Let's have a look at what happens around quarantine, what's happening there. I actually forgot to have a look at that sausage tree when we went down there. Actually, I want to have a look at it. Could be interesting. There might be a bit of action happening around it. Quite a very interesting tree we have at the moment. Started flowering a few days ago, beginning of spring. I'm actually just gonna quickly make a U-turn here. All right. Laurie, good morning to you, Laurie, in California. Wanting to know what kind of animals can carry rabies.
in South Africa? Well, I'm not an expert, but definitely your jackals, black striped, or so your jackals definitely can carry rabies. Your wild dogs may carry rabies. Your hyenas, yeah, hyenas may carry rabies. Ah, that's pretty much it. Because cats don't get rabies, right? Cats can? Ah, alright. Yeah, you can have a rabies form for cats. So your cats, your leopards, lions might also get rabies. So we're very close to the end of the drive, guys. We're just gonna walk by that sausage tree, just a few meters away from us now, and have a quick look at what's happening there. See if I can see some bird life around it, and maybe this afternoon we can also come back and have a look at it again. Yeah, I can see a lot of flowers from here already. Every day there are more and more flowers appearing. Sausage tree, Kigelia africana. Very interesting tree. And let's see. Let me have a look with my binos if I see anything interesting happening. Sure, Tara is zooming in. Yeah, Tara is zooming in on the very pretty flowers. Can't see any bird yet, but you usually get at that period of the year when the flowers coming out now in spring, you get a lot of bird life around that tree, and a lot of mammal life as well. You find a lot of antelopes, and also rhinos would be sometimes at the bottom of the tree eating the flowers which fell off. They're very nutritious, and for birds there are a lot of nectar in the flowers, like a good teaspoon of nectar per flower, so it's a lot of nutrients they can get. Bats also love that tree at night. Unfortunately we don't have the right lights, but at night I see something there. I need to find it with my binos though. Come on. Unless no, actually it's dry. It's a dry leaf or dry flower. I thought it was a bird. But yeah, the bats at night get they are very attracted to that tree. And actually it's a very nice tree. It's a very nice tree for bats to feed on, because the flowers actually hang down, and you know bats can't, they're not like birds, they can't take off like a bird would normally do from the ground. They basically need to be hanging from their feet upside down, and then they basically let themselves drop or fall down, and then that's how they open their wings, and that's how they fly away. And this tree, if you look at how the flowers they basically it's a long stem with few flowers on it. You'd see at the moment like there would be one flower, and then buds around, which are flowers which are going to open in the next few days. But basically it makes life easier for bats. They can hang onto that stem and then feed on the flower upside down, and then they can just let themselves falling off the stem and just fly away, and they get a lot of nutrients from that flower. The fruit is also very quite impressive. Can be up to half a meter long. Looks like a big sausage, and can weigh up to 9 kilograms as well. So you don't really want one of them to fall off on your head in summer. Would kind of knock you out. And lots of medicinal uses around that tree as well, which I'm gonna have to say goodbye. We can I'll come back this afternoon and we can spend a bit of time around that tree, talk about the medicinal uses, how African people use the tree, and it can cure a few diseases. It can be used for skin lotions, as a remedy for skin cancer. Lots of interesting facts about the sausage tree. So let's come back to it a bit later on this afternoon. Fortunately, I have to say goodbye for now. But yeah, thank you for all your questions, and hope you will join us again this afternoon, 3:30 Central African time. I'll be presenting again this afternoon, and Tara will be behind the camera with Mark sitting in funnel control. Same team as this morning, same positions, and we'll see what we can find this afternoon. But for myself and from everyone here at Juma, I have to say goodbye for now, and I'll see you a little bit later. Cheers, guys.
Hi everybody, Mark here in Final Control. Hope you've enjoyed the morning with us. Lots of questions that came in. Obviously a lot of questions that came through that I didn't get to, and time was a factor there. But please feel free to send in questions again. We do not select questions according to who sends the questions, but more according to maybe the content of the question and what we're viewing and where we are in the drive. And sometimes we have a backlog of questions, and then suddenly something will come through fairly recent on something that we're watching, so I might just jump the queue a little bit based on the content of the questions. But we do try and get to as many questions as we can on drive. Please don't get discouraged, and we will try and get to your questions at some point. Also, maybe if you have sent in the question before, just mention before that, or rather mention if you send it in again, mention that you did send in a question and you'd like an answer. But thanks for joining us, and we will see you later. 3:30 Central African out time. Actually, we'll be here a little bit early just to say hello. Have a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wonderful weekend, and bye from all of us.